I left you.
Hey y'all, I'm Mila the Wanderlust, your Detroit-based flight attendant for a major air carrier. And I'm here back for another round because I made a video talking about video interview tips, and I told y'all that I would be back next week with tips on the in-person interview. So as promised, here that is. Okay, so right now, if you haven't watched my video on the 5 video interview tips, go watch that, because in that video I went over what the process is like when you apply for my airline leading up to the video interview. And after you pass your video interview, then you're here at the in-person interview. I gave 5 tips in that video that I feel like also apply to your in-person interview as well. So if you haven't watched that video already, go watch it. I'm gonna link it down below so you can get those tips as well as these 5 tips. So in total, that'd be like 10 tips if you think about it. So in person, oh my God. So I was completely taken aback when I got the email saying that I had the in-person interview, because go watch the story that I told about my video interview and where I did the interview, and I did not expect to be pushed forward to the next step. I was driving and I refreshed my email. I know I shouldn't have been on the phone, and I saw the email from Delta, and I was like just sure that it was gonna say thanks but no thanks. And when I opened it, it said, "You've been invited to the in-person interview. Here are the available dates, accept one." And I was just like, literally, I was driving like that for like 30 seconds. Like, I couldn't believe it. So again, if you haven't watched my video interview tips, go click on that and you'll see why I said that, because my video interview was like, where I did it, what I did was just bananas. But with that being said, my in-person interview and hiring was on December 13th of last year. I was living in Houston, so I had to fly to Atlanta. My family lives in Atlanta, so I stayed at my boyfriend's dad's house. And that morning, I got up, I got showered and everything. I put my outfit in the car. I drove to my best friend's house because she did my makeup for the interview, because she does better makeup than me, okay? She did my makeup. I will pop in some pictures of me on my interview day. But I wore black pants, a black turtleneck, and a black and white blazer. I had braids in my hair at the time, and my best friend put them up in a really nice bun. I did my makeup, well, she did my makeup, and I wore a red lip. And I bought that lip from, do I have it with me? I think I do. All right, I definitely still have it. But I went into Target and I put glosses or lipsticks on me to make sure to see which one I wanted. And this one literally lasted all day, y'all, without me reapplying it. And it did the same thing on my arm. I put it on my arm and it was on my arm all day, even when I scrubbed it with water. This is Maybelline, and it's called Energizer number 445. And it says Super Stay Matte Ink on the brush. That's how it looks. All right, so that was my lip for my in-person interview. So here are my tips, y'all. Be on time. And when I say be on time, I mean be early. And they're gonna tell you that in your instructions. They say get there an hour early, 45 minutes to an hour early. And you might think they're just saying that. I thought they were just saying that. No, I thought to myself, I'm from Atlanta. I know how to navigate. I'll be all right. So I got there 30 minutes prior to my interview. Well, let me tell you, you're doing your interview at a center in Atlanta where you will also do your training if you're selected. But that is the training center for flight attendants, for pilots. There is loads and loads of people. There's some more stuff that goes on in that building too. The Delta Flight Museum is over there. There's a lot of things going on in that building. So when you get there, you have to be checked in to say, hey, I'm allowed to be here. And you have to find somewhere to park if you drive. Okay? I drove my boyfriend's car. So the check-in process took me like 5-10 minutes because they send you something to your phone that helps you get checked in. So I left my phone in the car because I was like, I'm not bringing my phone to my interview. Then I had to go back to the car and get my phone so that I could be signed in. So then I got that. It printed out a little paper for me. I took it to the desk. They gave me my visitor tag and my car tag. So then I had to go back to my car, put the tag in the car, and then go through the gate and go park. And when I tell you, there's so many people there training, doing CQ for flight attendants, pilots, it was nowhere to park. I had a hard time finding a parking space, and when I did find a parking space, it was so far from the building that I was literally running to the building to make sure that I was on time. I walked in with 2 minutes to spare before I would have been late or on time. Get there an hour prior. Get there an hour prior. Don't be like me. So be on time, and to be on time is to be early. 2, follow directions. You just heard me, my last scenario, I didn't follow directions. I didn't come an hour prior like they suggested, and it almost cost me my interview. Because when you're late, they don't let you in. Once they close the door, they don't let you in. So follow directions. Whatever they tell you to do, even down to the time that you arrive, make sure that you do it. If they ask you a question, yes, show your personality, but follow directions. For example, if they say, tell me your name and age, tell them your name and your age. Don't tell them, I'm Mila, I'm 56, and I love to travel. I have 4 siblings. I'm the youngest. Tell them your name and your age. That's it. Follow directions, because they want to see that you can follow directions. And my next tip kind of goes along with the last one, which is start thinking in the mindset of a flight attendant. And what I mean by that is you'll see a lot of videos that tell you, make sure you talk to everybody and make sure you show them you're personable and make sure that is all true. You do want to talk to everybody. You do want to get to know people. You do want to try to make connections. However, you don't need to be the center of attention. You need to show that you have the ability to lead as well as follow, because that's what you do when you're a flight attendant. My manager, I see her maybe like once a month. So I have to be able to go out into this flight attendant world and conduct myself without being managed. And when I get to my planes, there's a crew there, and it's a different crew every time I get there. So I have to be able to work with other people. So think about that and what that means and bring that to your interview. Example, if you're asked a question in a group setting, by all means, say what you think. Show your personality. Show them that you can be a flight attendant. But it's okay to let somebody else answer. It's okay to say, oh, you know what? When I said my answer, I didn't even think about that, but that's great. I like that. I like that mindset. I like that thought. I agree with them. Show that you can be a team player as well as a leader, because that's what you do as a flight attendant. You have to make your own decisions, but you also have your crew there to consult with if you need some guidance. So start thinking about those. Think about the things that flight attendants do and bring that to your interview. And my next tip, try to get to know everyone around. Now, again, like I just said, you can go meet people, you can be personable without being the center of attention. You don't have to run around the room like a maniac, like, hi, have I met you? Hi, have I met you? Hi, have I met you? I didn't speak to everybody on my interview day, But the thing about it was, when we were in group settings, whoever was around me at the time, hi, I'm Mila. What's your name? Where are you from? Oh, nice to meet you. Why do you want to be a... Make conversation with the people that you're around. Or if you see someone standing by themselves, make it a point to go talk to them. So do try to get to know everybody, but just make sure that you are not overdoing it. Don't do too much. Okay? And lastly, ask questions. This is your time. It's your interview. If you don't understand something, like let's say, for example, an interviewer asks you a question and you really don't understand the question, don't be afraid to be like, I don't really think I understand what you're asking me. Can you word that differently? They would rather you do that than to answer the question stupidly. If there's a policy that they tell you about, because they do give you information while you're there too, pay, benefits, health insurance, any of it, they talk about it, and you don't understand, ask. Don't go out of there feeling like you don't know what's going on. Ask questions, because ultimately you might get there and realize that this job is not for you. So make sure you know everything before you leave. So again, be on time, which is early. Follow directions to a T. Start thinking like a flight attendant and bring those flight attendant qualities. If you've never been a flight attendant, look it up and do your research. Start bringing those qualities to your interview, meaning being a leader, but also being a team player. Try to get to know everyone and try to let everyone get to know you, and ask questions. There's going to be lots of people there. There'll be flight attendants, there'll be coordinators, there'll be just lots of people there that know all about the airline, and they are excited that you're there and they want you to know as well. So ask questions. So those are my tips. Just like I told you guys in the video interview, if you have questions, leave them down below. My Instagram is Mila_light, or Miller_light, MILLA_LYTE. If you have questions that you don't feel comfortable leaving under this video, also message me on Instagram. I will answer your questions to the best of my ability without breaking the rules. And again, I will say, my airline in particular has a very, very strict social media policy, so I'm never going to give you like possible questions or answers. I'm never going to tell you like what the whole interview process is like, because I could get in trouble for that. So do not ask the questions below or DM me with those types of questions. But anything else, I am more than glad to help. And I wish you guys luck. Come boost my seniority. Come fly with me. Good luck in your interview process. And you got this. You're already a flight attendant. Bye.